Look at this old jukebox over here. Look at that.
Section of Fine Arts Commission murals of post offices.
My grandparents were born free and in Africa. But I was born in Virginia, a slave.
Another young man over here, ready to go to war. What a car. Look at the style of that thing. All right. Saturday afternoon here in Tennessee. How you guys doing? I haven't done this in a couple weeks. So I thought I'd get back out here. And today I am going to take you guys into the Tennessee State Museum. It's right over here. This building, right somewhere in there, right next to the farmers market. So yeah, the Tennessee State Museum is a free museum. So I'm like, oh, why not just go in there and do a vlog today? And I don't know what's inside. I assume it's just a bunch of history stuff. So let's check it out. Got the visitor guide. Yeah, just completely free. It's almost hidden away. Oh yeah. There's more people in here. Alright, so early Tennessee to 1760. Where to start?
320 million years ago, the North American and African plates collided, causing a continuous cycle of uplift, erosion to near sea level, and uplift again over the course of millions of years. This cyclical action formed the Appalachian Mountains, once as high as the Himalayas.
Oh, shit.
As the Appalachians eroded, their rocks were weathered into sediment and carried downstream to forested coastal lowlands, the present-day Cumberland Plateau.
Early Earth, Tennessee, so about 4.5 billion years ago, dust and gas collected and collided, pulling in larger particles and asteroids. Many scientists think this process formed planets like Earth. Early life, including blue-green algae, appeared about 1 billion years later. Meanwhile, rocky plates in the Earth's outer crust shifted and smashed together. The plates eventually formed Rodinia, a supercontinent. Rodinia started breaking apart 750 million years ago, splitting into the current continents. There we go. You know what this place, once again, another place I visit out here reminds me of I can't believe I can't think of this. The observatory. So we got some fossils over here, trace fossils, Lebanon Formation in Middle Tennessee. Let me zoom out here. Limestone. You think your life is tough. About 75 million years ago, plate movement submerged West Tennessee below sea level. Sediments buried seafloor animals as they died. preserving fossils in the sandy mud of the layer now called the Coon Creek Formation. 30 million years later, West Tennessee was once again above sea level. Rivers meandered across the coastal plain, creating isolated lakes filled with fine clay and silt. First peoples of Tennessee arrived at the end of the Ice Age. Groups adapted as the climate changed, shifting from small hunting and gathering bands to complex farming societies. In the mid-1500s, Tennessee's native tribes encountered European explorers. They could not anticipate the changes these new groups would bring. The Europeans displaced native tribes from their ancestral lands and altered their traditional ways.
Men, women, and children followed the king. 10,000 years ago, the planet was warming. As new plants and animals emerged, the paleoculture period was replaced by a way of life historians now call the archaic culture period. Archaic people lived in large groups, and with improving technologies, they were more skilled at harvesting the resources of the Tennessee landscape. They were hunter-gatherers who lived in temporary villages and made abstract and geometric signs.
Some more artwork over here. Cherokee hunters established profitable trade with the Europeans. Cherokees hunted white-tailed deer and traded pelts for guns, ammunition, metal knives, and other goods. Firearms transformed Cherokee society. Guns made hunting more efficient and helped the Cherokees dominate the region with their armed strength. Old Danny Boone. Isaac Bledsoe's powder gourd. Hunting bag, late 1700s to early 1800s. And then we have these guns here. Of course, the reproduction flintlock long rifle by Lynn Houston Harrison, 1970 to 1990. And apparently the bottom gun here was actually owned by Daniel Boone. This rifle. The musket, 1763. Mississippian culture, cave art. Huh. In recent years, archaeologists and cave enthusiasts have identified over 70 rock shelters and caves in Middle and East Tennessee that contain Mississippian art. The subject matter ranges from turkeys and turtles to dogs and dancing warriors. While the meaning behind cave art is unknown, it is believed to be spiritual. Most of Tennessee's cave art dates from the Mississippian culture period and is similar in style to other decorated artifacts from that time. These are iconic Mississippian period artifacts. Duck bowl, shaped like a duck. A dog, a duck, and water spider. Right there. See the spider? So the Spanish explorer Juan Pardo encountered a number of native tribes during his 1566 to 1567 expedition. There is a depiction of that. Arrow shaft fragment. Moccasin. The fragment of a basket. Over here we have a mastodon jaw. A real one, found in 1924 at the mouth of the Little Harpeth River, Bellevue, Tennessee. Mastodons were hunted by Paleo-Indians in Middle Tennessee, and this is the tusk.
And a notable feature of the Mississippian culture period is the creation of platform towns.
This complex social organization revolved around matrilineal system. The matrilineal
Uh-oh.
system is our kinship system. It tells us
Hope I don't get
how you
flagged
hand
for
down
nudity.
the knowledge.
In language and culture existed among southeastern Indians across Tennessee. We do know that they all cultivated
10,000 years ago, the climate in Tennessee began a dramatic transformation. Following an ice age that lasted thousands of years, the planet grew warmer, new plants and animals emerged, while other species like mastodons and mammoths went extinct. Tools, fishing tools, projectile points, a fishing hook. That's the first part of this. Got some more arrowheads over here. So this is a sampler. The sampler was created at the Brainerd Mission School by Nancy Reese, a young Cherokee girl. Education at Brainerd differed depending on the student's gender, and domestic trades like sewing were emphasized for girls. The education at Brainerd aimed to civilize the Cherokees according to missionary standards. So that's what this thing is. Child's dress, 1850 to 1860. And this dress is an example of what a young middle-class girl would have worn in the 1850s or 1860s. The letter from Sarah Brown to Elizabeth Lizzie Brown from Minerva College. And this letter was sent at the start of Sarah Ann's school year, asking her sister Lizzie to send her Lizzie's Bible, an ancient history book. Sarah also requests books for their cousin Nanny and instructs Lizzie not to show the letter to their father because Sarah's penmanship is poor. Is it? Well, not today. I mean, it looks a lot better than people write these days, if people write anything anymore. And then over here we just have more of the same stitching. All right, this is what I want to see. Check that out. Printing press. Based on a 1720 common press believed to be used by Benjamin Franklin, Clinton Sisson handcrafted this press at the University of Virginia for use by the Tennessee State Museum. The first Tennessee printers used the common press, and it remained popular until the 1850s. The printing press right here. Best land does not exceed $5 per acre. They can, at the price, purchase a plantation completely formed. Now, the 1800s, 1808 musket. Reproduction Congressional Medal from the 1850s. Congress awarded General Jackson a medal for his victory at New Orleans. This is a copy of the original medal held by the American Numismatic Society. And then we got a playing card right next to that. This deck depicted Jackson on the ace of spades, trumping all other cards from the early 1800s. Got a bust of Andrew Jackson here. More muskets, swords, Sword of General John Coffey. Davy Crockett. This is the uniform sash of Captain Samuel Price from 1808 to 1815. And this is the coat of William Graham in 1807. This immaculate coat here. It's kind of small. I mean, it looks kind of small. Book here, The Life of Davy Crockett. More swords. And over here, this is a cannonball mold from the 1810s. You know, the only subject that I was interested in school was history. Like, that's all I cared about. I went to school and I didn't do anything except for pay attention in history class. It's a saber from Captain James Colby. Look at this thing. Flintlock pistol, manufactured by Ketland and Company in London from the 1780s. North Carolina reportedly awarded Lieutenant Colonel John Sevier this pistol for his service during the Battle of Kings Mountain, which made Sevier a national hero. Man, that thing is amazing. It's a powder horn. More swords. This is the gathering of the Overmountain Men at Sycamore Shoals, 1780. Trying not to get the reflection of this light everywhere. Here's a British hunting sword that belonged to Abraham de Peyster, 1770s. It's an old American flag. A 13-star silk flag and pole. Fewer than 20 early U.S. flags like this survive. While wrapped on its painted flagpole, the flag got wet, producing the green vertical stains. Huh. You can barely see it. So we got a gourd powder flask over here. Overton Mountain men often carried these items they already owned during the war. And a tomahawk from about 1780. A button from one of the uniforms from the American Revolution. Pliers belonging to Charles Trentham. Replica Cherokee warrior clothing. This is a replica Patriot militia man clothing. Man, how do you imagine walking around in those all the time? And of course, this is a replica Continental Militia officer uniform. And a British uniform. Just a standard British uniform. This is a Conestoga style wagon from Sullivan County, about 1860. Look at that. Imagine going around in that all the time. How big? How big this thing is? How big this wagon is? I've never seen a wagon this big. Craftsmanship. Surveyor's tool over here, owned by Daniel Smith. Daniel Smith surveyed the land that became Nashville and completed construction of his home, Rock Castle in Hendersonville, in 1791. Treaties may be all right for men who are too old to hunt or fight. As for me, I have my young warriors about me. We will have our lands. Moving westward. Got a gourd, a collapsing telescope, a sand shaker. Interesting. A brass shoe buckle and a tin gunpowder can. More moccasins from the Chickasaw tribe. Check those out. Some style, huh? They had some style. Donelson's Party, 1,000-mile journey. It is believed John Donelson wrote at least part of this account of the 1779-1780 float boat journey to the Cumberland region. His March 6th entry detailed the death of an enslaved man from frostbite on his feet and legs. Spectacles belonging to Charlotte Robertson. Powder charge belonging to John Buchanan. Bronze spoons, the molds for the spoons. Who is this strappy gentleman? That gentleman is William Blount. Got a nice haircut before he took that picture. This is the Southwest Territories' first seat of government was at Rocky Mount, where settler William Cobb lived. That's a nice little humble home. Pocket watch from William Blount. Snuff box. Little pitcher. People were smaller back then, weren't they? Look how small this cane is. That's a really small cane. It's like 24 inches. This would be someone's living quarters in their log cabin. The homes of the early Tennesseans. Many Cherokees and Chickasaws lived in log houses from the late 1700s to the time of Indian removal. Log houses largely replaced the earlier Chickasaw and Cherokee traditions of summer and winter homes. Trying to see what that thing is over there on the table. See if that's an accurate depiction of a door. And people were a lot shorter back then. I wonder what the average height was of people 300-400 years ago. Got a bed up here. Nice little humble abode. With this bond, a farmer in Madison County agreed to rent a slave for a year. The cost was $50 plus supplies of food and clothing. What is that, a tooth? Cowrie shells originate from the tropical Indian and Pacific Oceans. African and Southeast Asian cultures had used them in jewelry and clothing for thousands of years. Blue bead found at slave site. Blue is the predominant color of beads. What? What are they talking? Oh, it's a mirror. It's a magnifying glass. It's a blue bead excavated from slave sites. This bead was found under the floorboards of a kitchen used by slaves. Here are some neck shackles from about 1840. Neck shackles kept groups of male slaves from running away but allowed their legs to remain free for travel. Women and children were usually not chained. So they just chained. They just kept the men chained up. Okay. White settlers brought slavery with them to Tennessee. Slave ownership depended on access to land or proximity to industry. By 1860, some 275,000 enslaved African Americans lived in the state, mostly in West and Middle Tennessee. State laws did not recognize enslaved marriages or parental rights. Slaves knew that they could be sold away from their families at any time. Some protested their enslavement by escaping, breaking tools, or slowing their work. Enslaved people hoped for freedom while raising their families and maintaining a vibrant culture. This looks like a chair my grandmother has. So this chair was made by Richard Poynter. About 1860, Richard Poynter was one of Williamson County's most prolific and distinctive chair makers. He purchased his freedom in the 1850s and built his own horse-powered chair factory near Franklin, Tennessee. Man, check out these pants. Check out these trousers. Some nice trousers there, man. That's some nice trousers you got there. Linen. Oh man, these things had to be hot. Enslaved people were involved in every aspect of making these trousers. They grew the flax, wove the plant fibers into linen, and sewed the material. Now, imagine wearing these linen trousers in the summertime, in the humidity.
My grandparents were born free and in Africa. But I was born in Virginia, a slave. Never even had a taste of freedom.
Never even had a taste.
My name is Jenny. First, I was owned by Michael Blow. He died in 1799. Then my family went to Master Son,
Master
Micajah Blow.
Son.
But when he hit hard times in 1802, my sister and I were sold to Mr. Joseph Washington for 100 English pounds. I was only 10 years old. I never did see my mother again, or Virginia. Mr. Washington took us from Virginia all the way to Tennessee. We were two scared little girls, I can tell you.
A minority of African Americans in Tennessee were free. While not slaves, these men and women were denied the rights and opportunities of white citizens. Most lived in cities like Nashville and Memphis, where they practiced trades. Stout Family Bible from 1907. The Stouts were an African American family in Memphis who traced their ancestry to Neshoba. Old Holy Bible. Let's escape slavery here and go over this way. Got some innovations. Tennesseans living in the 1800s saw enormous changes in transportation and communications. The first steamboat shuttled up the Cumberland River to Nashville in 1819. Railroad lines opened in the 1840s, reducing 1 month long trips to a matter of days. And we have some maps over here and some accounting books. Sugar chest. Sugar became more readily available as steamboats transported goods farther and faster. I don't understand. They kept sugar in it. Telegraph key about 1900. Telegraph operators sent messages by using this key to produce short or long tones. The telegraph receiver. Transatlantic telegraph cable. And a railroad receipt. And some lady's coin purse. Got another walking cane. Check that walking cane out. It's got some style and design to it. This election gift shows the states President Polk carried in the 1844 election. He won the 170 electoral votes, but his home state of Tennessee voted for Henry Clay. Dress-tail officer's coat belonging to Major General Gideon Pillow, 1840 to 1860. Tennessee native Gideon Pillow's service during the Mexican-American War was controversial. The general faced accusations of mismanaging troops and disobeying orders. Chests belonging to Santa Anna at the Battle of Buena Vista. Tennesseans captured these chests belonging to Mexican general and five-time President Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Crucifix from Mexican-American War brought back by Tennessean Eli Barrett from the 1840s. Mexican pike point captured at the Battle of Cerro Gordo. This coat is a reproduction of an Indian removal era Cherokee-made coat in the museum's collection. The fine beadwork, embroidery, there we go. Get a little more detail. And applied silk that had deteriorated in the original were restored here. The original's single Texas Navy cuff button was replaced with 3 reproduction buttons. Whereas the title of the Cherokee people to their lands is the most ancient, it follows that the original title and ownership of said lands rest in the Cherokee Nation unimpaired and absolute. Cards for combing wool or cotton. Man, those things are prickly. Sheep shears from about 1850. And then there's a sheep bell to herd the sheep. Fruit basket made by Cherokee artist Annie James. 2000. Many Cherokee farmers retain craft making traditions such as basket weaving. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Check out that bad boy. How would you like to have that? In your living room. Spinning Jenny, made by Hugh Joyner, Hendersonville, Tennessee, about 1830. Nashvilleian William Bryant patented the spinning jenny, a machine which spun cotton into thread. Here's another tiny man's tailcoat. East Tennessee tailor Andrew Johnson made this tailcoat before launching his political career and became president of the United States. This garment was typical for wealthy Tennesseans. Woodworking brace and bit. This tool was used to change the thickness of lumber. Tri-square. This tool was used for squaring furniture parts. Got some silverware over here. Teaspoons. Not much different than the spoons that we use today. Cups. Butter dish. Silver surveyor's compass. A Derringer pistols case and accessories made by A. Lind & Company, Memphis, 1853. Clark's shop offered a wide variety of fine firearms and accessories. Got a sewing kit from about 1850. And a set of 2 dress pockets. Women's skirts typically had no pockets. This garment, worn around the waist, provided a solution. Got this creepy doll over here. A doll with hoop dress from mid-1800s. Many Tennessee children had fathers who left home to fight and often die in the war. They endured military occupation, guerrilla warfare, and sometimes battles.
Such as churches and schools. Tennessee was plagued by lawlessness and violence. The Ku Klux Klan sought to enforce white supremacy and drive radical Republicans from power. The Klan assaulted and murdered African Americans and white Republicans. The Klan's campaign did not go unchallenged. The state militia and individual Tennesseans took action against this group. By 1869, some Republicans favored compromising with former Confederates. In 1870, a new state constitution reversed many radical Republican measures. Former Confederates regained control of the state government.
Farewell to all radicals. May you only be known by history in the future. Amen.
How would deeply divided Tennesseans work to build a future?
I have felt for many years the South was her own destroyer. Oh, may we remember this and stand together.
cannon, 12-pound howitzer cannon from the Union Army. Look how big this place is. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it's just completely free. Mexican iron spearhead recovered by a Tennessee soldier. Hair and envelope belonging to James K. Polk. That's James K. Polk's hair. This is a cameo brooch. Features General Andrew Jackson in his military uniform. This is a presidential election ballot. It's a marble bag. Standard U.S. belt plate found at Fort Pillow in the 1860s. Tailor shears from Andrew Johnson's tailoring shop. Andrew Johnson ran a tailoring shop in Greensville, Tennessee before and during his political career. Straight razor to shave with. Oh look, I was just at the Union Station the other day that they turned the station into a hotel. Here's a postcard from 1905. This is a Demaloon stained glass window from Nashville's Union Station. So, the stained glass window once greeted passengers above the original entryway of Union Station on Broadway. Today it welcomes you to the Tennessee State Museum. Old pictures of the tickets. Check out this guy. What is this, the Ku Klux Klan? Yup. Klan member in Giles County wore a hood and robe like these during Reconstruction. Look at that thing. Horrifying. There's a pen, pocket watch that Andrew Johnson owned. It's a ballot box from the mid 1800s. Tea kettle. Many African American families struggled economically. Few were able to buy their own land. Often African American women took jobs as cooks or servants to help their families. Catherine Annette Burton Young made this gown for her son. So a little boy wore this thing. Her son Stephen in 1873. Her husband Charles Coker Young was a Confederate veteran. Civil War medicine. So we have some surgery tools over here and stuff they extracted teeth with, amputated limbs with. Bone saw. Oh my goodness. Got a wooden leg over here. Look at that thing. The screams from the operating table resounded through the woods, for the surgeons were taking off arms and legs of a succession of men carried to them. The cost of war. More than 620,000 soldiers died in the Civil War. Many were quickly buried on battlefields or near camps. The federal government started a national cemetery system during the war. African American Union soldiers performed much of the work of reconstructing cemeteries and re-entering the federal dead at the conflict's close. Coffee beans? What is that? Yeah, coffee. That's coffee right there. Card games. Little tiny dice. Pan. Smoking pipe. Soldier. Got a depiction of a tent over here. Soldier's hat. War log. Damaged trees were popular souvenir items after the war. These war logs illustrated the intense nature of Civil War combat. General William J. Hardy originally published this tactics manual in 1855. It became a standard training manual for both armies. Got another young man over here, ready to go to war. £12 bronze Napoleon, Henry N. Hooper and Company. Oh, look over here. Sam Watkins, a high private in the rear ranks of the rebel army. Well, let's give it a go. How you doing, Sam Watkins? The Battle of Shiloh.
This was the first big battle in which our regiment had been engaged. I will not pretend to tell what command distinguished itself. Heroes, blood and wounds, shrieks and groans. Close up, guide right, halt, forward, right oblique, left oblique, halt, forward, guide center, eyes right, dress up promptly in the rear, steady, double quick, charge bayonets, fire at will is about all a private soldier ever knows about. He can see the smoke rise and the flash of the enemy's guns, and he can hear the whistle of the Minion cannonballs, but he's got to load and shoot as hard as he can tear and ram cartridge, or he'll soon find out.
All right, thank you very much, Sam Watkins.
One fellow, then another.
Take care.
Charge bayonets.
Take care, soldier.
Line.
Who's this little boy? Look at this little boy. John Clem. This little boy right here. Clem was only 9 years old when he attempted to join a Union regiment. Legend has it that he fought at Shiloh, earning the nickname Drummer Boy of Shiloh. It is more likely that Clem joined later. He fought bravely at Chickamauga and was promoted to sergeant. Discharged in 1864, Clem later returned to the army and retired a brigadier general in 1915. This is a sofa owned by the Lindsley family in 1857 when he married Sarah McGavick. In 1857, John Berrien Lindsley purchased a set of parlor furniture. The sofa is one piece of the larger set. There they are right there. Here's a banner sock knitting machine. Crayons, coloring pencils. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. This is a baseball cap from the early 1900s. Baseball started as an urban game but spread to more rural settings. Check out this old uniform. Woodlawn. That's what it says. Stahl and Dean baseball shirt and pants became popular during the late 1800s and emerged as a favorite pastime for many Tennesseans. Phonograph horn, vacuum cleaner, old bicycle from 1900, about 1900. This is the good stuff. Wall telephone, American Bell Telephone Company, about 1910. I should have started off over here. World War I. Salvation Army. Goodness, man. Look at this stuff. Oh my goodness. Check this out. Check it out. Check this car out. Good gosh.
Many rural Tennesseans can now enjoy electric appliances, indoor plumbing,
Wood floorboard.
and many modern amenities that make life easier and more productive.
My most immediate concern is in carrying out the purposes of the Great Work Program just enacted by the Congress.
My goodness.
Is to put men and women
Man, what a car. What a car. Look at the style of that thing.
1935, the National Institute of President Roosevelt created the largest New Deal program yet. The Works Progress Administration.
Got some more bells down here, or phonographs.
Thousands of workers, most of them skilled workmen, built state roads, airports,
Man, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. It's a Model T.
arts now work through that engaged federal project.
Old radio.
Over 2,000 first-person accounts of slavery.
Quaker Oats Crystal Radio.
Federal Fine Arts Commission.
Women at work. Typewriters.
World War II effectively ended.
I just ran into a old gentleman here. He was showing me his cars, and I hated to tell him that I had to go, but only have about 15 minutes. Wooden stove. That's crazy. Oh my goodness, look at this. They got an old refrigerator over here from the early 1900s.
Agriculture had expanded.
Old stove.
Now, overproduction led to falling prices.
I am blown away. I am literally blown away by the stuff that they have in here. I wish that I could show it all. World War II. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff.
With jobs dwindling, African Americans were forced out of the labor market.
Women's Army uniform. hat. Air Force uniform. Old books over here from World War II era. This is the era that I love. I love the 40s, like just the 40s in general. Like old Hollywood movies from the 40s are my favorite time period of movies. What do you see here? What you do here? What you hear here? When you leave here, let it stay here. Employee badge. Security officer badge. Japanese prisoner of war uniform. Marine Corps.
Cheap, publicly owned power and agricultural areas. Many rural Tennesseans can now enjoy electric appliances, indoor plumbing,
Oh my goodness.
and many modern amenities that make life easier and more productive.
Wanted by the FBI, escaped prisoner of war, Wolfgang Hermann Helfrich.
Thousands of workers, mostly unskilled white men, built state roads, airports, and public parks. Artists found work through the WPA's Federal Writers Project. They collected and edited over 2,000 first-person accounts of slavery.
Look at this old jukebox over here. Look at that.
Section of Fine Arts Commission murals of post offices. World War II found the Great Depression as unemployed Indian found jobs in the military.
Rock Alla jukebox found in Nashville in 1948. The Magic Glow jukebox was made in Chicago when the jukebox industry boomed in America following the end of World War II. You said 10 minutes?
10 minutes, 5 o'clock.
My goodness. Oh man, we still got one whole thing. Let's run through here real quick. We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Oh man. I hate to do this, but oh my gosh. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. Look at this. Old computers, old phones, Super Nintendo. It's closing in 10 minutes. Gotta run through here. They're gonna kick me out. They're gonna kick me out. Patsy Cline guitar. Army. This is the good stuff, man. This is the good stuff. Look at this. Steve Sloan, Bradley Central High School. Look at this. Who is this? Elliot Perry. Authentic Memphis Grizzlies jersey. Memphis Grizzlies jersey. Food City 500. Old baseball. Hockey. Old football. Tennessee Titans jersey. Shoes. I don't want to come back because I want to edit this video tonight. Look at this old door. This old door from this 1950s. Oh my goodness, man. This stuff is amazing. Mind-blowing. Trolls, Barbies, Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, look. There he is. My name's Al Gore. Hey, Al. Alright. I'm gonna have to go because they're gonna lock me in here. Huh? Yeah. I didn't know there was so much in here.
Yes, a lot.
I should have came earlier this morning.
I tell people try and come at 10 a.m. when we open because you're gonna need the whole day to.
Is this the end?
This last 2 years?
Oh, okay. I'll have to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, have a good one. Oh my gosh, man. Let's just run through here real quick. I don't want to come back. All right. Etta James, Dolly Parton, Charlie Pride, Elvis. Man, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. More jukeboxes. I would have rather seen this stuff than the other stuff I saw. Look at this stuff. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Bench from Ryman Auditorium, 1892. All right, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. Did all we could. Saw all we could. All right. See you later, Elvis. All right. I had no idea. I had no idea that this would be so big. So I stayed in there until closing time. Still pretty warm out here though. But yeah, thank you guys if you watched to the end here. Unfortunately, I couldn't take my time there at the good stuff that I wanted to personally see. But until next time, again, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Take care. It was still interesting. Peace out.